Hey everyone! On this channel before, I've previously discussed about how much I really like Legend of Zelda, and there are a few other games that I also enjoy because I'm clearly a pro gamer. And one game series that I recently got back into is Tomodachi Life, and I originally got this game in 2016. I just recently restarted my game file because there were some previous things in the other game file that I just needed to move on. I decided to restart and it's rekindled my love for this game franchise. I remember also playing MiiQuest or the Miiverse one. Wow, I'm blanking on what the name is right now. Whoop. Everyone, editing Cloudy here. It's Miitopia. I call it the correct name in the rest of the video, but just because this intro really bothered me, I'm just gonna correct myself real quick. Ooh. Okay, bye. I remember playing that game on the Switch, and I really hope that Tomodachi gets ported to the Switch, maybe with the same type of customizations. But until then, I'm just here left alone to draw fan art of some of my newer Miis. So let's get started. Something that I think is really appealing to me about Miis in general and Tomodachi and Miitopia is the fact that it does have character customization, but it's also fairly open enough where you can basically create your own type of world and you can control them, but they also have enough sentience where they can develop their own personalities, which... If you hear any tapping, that's my dog. But they can develop their own personalities. So unlike The Sims, where I also very much love The Sims 3, that one they can develop their own personalities, but to an extent they are limited within your own type of controls, or you have to download mods to really have Sims explore and develop their own personalities. I do personally love reading like Sim stories or watching Sim Let's Plays that are very story-based, but you can only do so much to a certain time. But with Miis, they deliberately set up that you can't control every aspect. And so because of that, you'll get Miis being like, oh, I want this specific thing, or oh, I want to they get into interpersonal drama. And while it is fairly simplistic, it is entertaining enough where I'm like, oh, they can do their own thing. And that's honestly really interesting to me. So I remember starting my fascination with Miis back when the Wii came out. I believe I first got a Wii in 2010, and the Mii creator, I think the max is, even in the parade, you could max out at 200 Miis in total. And I filled that Mii verse with so many Miis because I was just making all these different characters because I just thought it was so interesting. And it's just one of those things where you can create so many different types of people, and it's like, wow, look at this, look at that. And so through that, I just made personalities and I wrote stories and drew art of my Miis. And it's kind of weird and embarrassing, I guess, to an extent, because it's like a Mii. It's nothing super phenomenal. It's not like it's some deep story. No, it's just some random characters I made and I'm making up little stories for. But through that, I actually made a few that I keep now with me. One of them is called Nelly Pop. I wish I could show you guys the original versions of her, but sadly my mother got rid of our Wii a long time ago, but not the Wii games, so that's a little weird. So I can't show any original Nelly, and then of course I restarted my game file, so I would have to see if I have anything of her, but it's definitely one of those things where I'm like, oh, I made this character and now I just keep making her. And now there's another character I made called Stony, and through all these different iterations, I keep making him. He's there. But the two Miis that I made, or drawing now, are Zach and Peach Bubblegum. They're from my original save file of Tomodachi. I keep saying Tomodachi. Oh my gosh. So, Tomodachi, and they were basically my power couple. I wouldn't expect them to even really like each other. I've made it so they have completely different vibes. Zach is the independent lone wolf, while Bubblegum, aka Peachy, is the optimist buddy, I believe. And so you would never think, but then they got together and they were like my favorite couple in my game, and they just were so inseparable, and I loved it. And they had a few kids, and I just loved them together so much, and I just really didn't want. They're one of the reasons why I was like, oh no, I don't want to restart my game, because you lose all your data pretty much, and it's actually, you should look up what it looks like when you delete your file in Tomodachi, because it's actually quite scary. It's like, what the heck? Your knee is basically running in a void, and it's like, do you want to delete it? Are you sure you want to delete your game? Can you delete your game? And then once it's gone, they're like, it's gone forever. And it's like, oh Jesus. It makes you feel terrible about deleting your save file. But I did it anyways. Oh well. But those two, I was like so nervous about remaking them. And I actually made Peachy this time around, just because I don't want, my last save file had a lot of real life people I also knew, along with fake ones, and like pop culture characters mixed in. This one, I'm like, no, just gonna stick to like either pop culture characters or just original characters. And so I made Peachy my character, and instantly I made Zach, and I wasn't sure if they would get together or not, because each game is slightly different, and like I said before, these kind of gain their own little sentience. Like, they do whatever they want. So I was like, oh no, this probably won't end up working out, and they ended up getting back together, and I'm like, oh my god, it happened. Like, how did that even happen? But I am very happy that they're back together. But the little couple rating machine says that they're gonna do poorly, but I highly doubt it. I'm sure they'll be fine. That is what's going on, and I made a bunch of other characters, and because I restarted my game, I am basically back at the very, very limited amount of options. But because I also restarted my game, I lost all my Street Pass special like clothing options, which in itself is kind of annoying because, well, I personally play on a 2D DS since my 3D DS is a little old, but no one really uses it anymore because, well, now the Switch is out, but the Switch doesn't have Street Pass, so guess I just kind of shot myself in the foot for that one. If they do port Tomodachi to Switch, I hope that they would kind of make up for the lack of Street Pass options. I'm not 100% sure how Miitopia did it, because I believe Miitopia originally came out on the DS as well, then it was ported to the Switch. I'm admittedly not 100% sure, but if Miitopia had Street Pass options, I wonder how they implemented that into the Switch version, or maybe if they do port it the Switch, if maybe you would do like after a certain time in like the quests, and like maybe Tomodachi Quest, like the little arcade game, sometimes if you not only beat the final boss, you also get like Street Pass clothing, or they make it an exclusive shop where after you reach a certain satisfaction rating, or on your island, like the higher satisfaction rating, the more exclusive quote-unquote clothing and food and hats you get, because that would be kind of cool, instead of just kind of like rotating it back into the generalized shops. Maybe make it like, ooh, you could get this special item, or maybe after you hit a certain islander amount, you can get new items. Or if you have a certain amount of personality traits in one category, you unlock this item or that item. And I hope that if they do switch it over, they include the super cool editing, like me creator options that they had in Miitopia, because people can make some beautiful characters on there. My characters are nowhere near that nice looking. I was kind of lazy. I just added some eye sparkles and that's kind of it. Maybe some different facial designs, but some people can make out like full on accurate characters, and it's just absolutely amazing seeing how far we've come from the original Mii's to now. I remember learning how to make a penguin on the Wii, like to like and be like, oh my gosh, look, I made a penguin as a Mii, and now people can make like actual memes. They can make cats. They can make Van Gogh art. Like, what is this? They have shaders for the skin and eyes and different type of markings. People can put ears on their Mii's, which I didn't even realize was something that I desired since I hate drawing ears in general, but it's just like, holy shit, that's so cool. I definitely feel like life simulators is kind of a more niche genre of video games. I believe they're popular, probably not so much in America, probably elsewhere they're probably more popular, but it's one of those things where I have always just been very, I guess, like attracted to life simulators or very peaceful games, even though one of my favorite old games was called Police Chase, like, and you were in an international race getting, well, obviously chased by police, but it's something that these are very easy, casual games that can like attract multiple audiences, and you could just drop it and then pick it up later and continue on. Honestly, I should play Animal Crossing. I have never played Animal Crossing, but I love the aesthetics. Anyway, but that's the thing too. A lot of people like that type of game. Stardew Valley. It's very, there's things going on around, but otherwise the core gameplay, it's like, okay, this is fairly soothing. I think that's why also Breath of the Wild is very, very popular, because not only is it open world, but because it's open world, you don't always need to focus on the main quest line. You could just take a step back, pretend like you're living your life as Link, do very mundane tasks, go like get some apples, cook some food, build a house, build a town, go talk to all these different people, go mining. Like, it's just very simple and mundane tasks, but something about life simulators, it just, ooh, it tickles my fancy, and I bet it tickles others' fancies as well. I honestly love watching them as well. Like I said before, I like watching Sims plays. It's because with these life simulators, each game is different. Everyone plays it slightly different. You can have extreme runs where people are basically torturing their characters, or it's just a huge meme and it's like, haha, look at this. Or you take others who make it a story, have like develop this type of world that's uniquely your own, even though others have the same thing. And I don't know, there's just something really nice about that. Like, there's no reason for us to be like making a little community out of this, of just, hey, look at my Mii. You want my Mii in your game? Oh, here is Homer Simpson. He can marry Princess Peach. Like, stuff like that. And it's just like, what is this? So I'm going to add a few more minor details into the drawing before I post the final. What is your favorite genre game? It can be different types of genre. If you like shooters, if you like RPGs, JRPGs, really anything. Are you also a life simulator fan? Do you even like video games? What is your favorite type of game genre? Because I believe we are all pro gamers in our heart. I'm just kidding around, but overall, thank you for watching and stay safe and have a good day. Bye!